السلام عليكم. وليد درويش منسق اللغة الإنجليزية بمدرسة علي بن جاسم. Today we are going to complete what we have started about narrative. Today we are going to apply the elements of narrative on this piece of reading. Okay? We are going to elicit or extract techniques of starting and ending the narrative. Examples of figurative language such as simile, metaphor, alliteration, onomatopoeia, assonance, hyperbole, and also elements like foreshadow, flashback, maybe cliffhanger, and also parallel actions. Let's start. A luck escape. Hurry up, Dad shouted. What can we call this technique of starting a story? Is it a rhetorical question? Is it direct speech, referring to moods and feelings, or using sensory details? Yes, of course it's direct speech because we have these quotation marks. So when we find these quotation marks at the beginning of a story, it means one of the characters is talking to the other, and it's called direct speech. What is the effect of direct speech? It brings the story alive. It brings the story alive. Okay, as he ran down the stairs, we are gonna be late. Last summer, my family and I went on a sailing holiday in the Bahamas. Before getting out of the house, I heard the depressing, deafening sound. Okay, here we have sound. And the writer described it 2 times, depressing and deafening. What do we call it in a language? We call it multi-pre-modification. 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 To wait to woo of the owl. What is this? Is it the sound of the owl? Yes. To wait to woo. What do we call it when the writer writes the sounds in words? We call it onomatopoeia. Okay. Whenever I hear this ugly sound in the morning, terrible things occur. What do you predict will happen if you heard this sentence? Yes, something terrible is gonna happen, so it gave you hints. Yes? Okay, when an event at the beginning of the story gives you hints about what will happen later, we call it foreshadow. Fore means in the future, in front, and shadow. Okay. What is the effect of foreshadow? It gives hints about what will happen later in the story. Anyway, since it was nice sunny weather, and we were having a wonderful time. One morning we decided to sail our yacht to a small island. We were enjoying our trip when suddenly indicates that something not expected will happen. The sky got dark. Soon it was raining heavily, like a waterfall, like. When we make a simile, we use 2 words, like and as. Like. He is as brave as a lion. He is like a lion. This is called simile. So, if you are searching for a simile, search for 2 words, like and as. Okay, simile. A waterfall and the wind was blowing. Whoosh! This is the sound of the wind. So another sound. What do we call sounds? Yes, onomatopoeia. The boat was dancing from side to side. Dancing? Dance is one of the verbs which people do, persons do. So when we use verbs of humans with things, we call it what? Yes, personification. Like when we say, The sky was crying. The flowers smiled. The boat was dancing. The tree hugged me. Something with a verb used with persons, personifications. From side to side, I remembered the tsunami which had attacked Southeast Asia. Tsunami which had attacked, is it at the time of the story or earlier, before? Yes, it's before. So, when we mention an earlier event, earlier to the story, we call it flashback. And the flashback gives us details, background information about the events. You can find it easily if you found past perfect, had plus past participle. Years before, quick, direct speech. My dad shouted. Shouted is a reporting verb. Reporting verbs are called paralinguistic features. Take down the sale, we didn't have time. Okay, here you are asking, what will happen next? The writer moved to another paragraph. So we call it cliffhanger. Because the writer hanged you, caught you, seized you tightly, and forced you to move to the following paragraph to find the resolution for this. The wind overturned the boat and we fell into the water. We were screaming in panic when a fishing boat appeared. The rescuers were lions. Rescuers, men, emergency men, were lions. So it's called metaphor. Why? Because he describes them of being lions without using as or like. If he said rescuers were like lions, it's simile. Rescuers were lions, it's metaphor. They stopped and dropped. What? Stopped and dropped. Stopped and dropped. Same vowel. Stopped, dropped. Same vowel. When we use the same vowel in repeated words, we call it assonance. Robes saying, don't worry. They dropped and said at the same time. Dropped and said. Okay? Dropped the robes saying, don't worry. Two actions in the same or at the same time. What do we call it? We call it parallel actions, like parallel lines in mathematics. Parallel. Two actions happening at the same time. Like he said goodbye, waving his hand. He said and waved at the same time. So it should be a verbal action, verb, words, with body movement. Okay? They pulled us abroad and took us back to the port. We felt shocked but relieved. We had a very lucky escape. Okay, how did he end his story now? He ended his story by referring to moods and feelings. Okay, like shocked, relieved. It's a technique of ending a story, referring to moods and feelings. They were very happy, they were secure. Thank you very much, and we will meet again soon, inshallah.